dareless daredevil is going to go through. Probably destroys the entire car, but he makes it through. What a legend. Hello guys, welcome to Polybridge 2. We're going to be continuing with our series today, which is completing some of the rest of the worlds on stage 1, I believe, which is the Pine Mountains. So we completed first jump, so we've got to go stop and go, which is going to be the 11th game. So let's get into it. Right, so here we've got to get car A and A2 across to the other side, and we've got a boat that comes across. So if we look here, we've got A1 has to get to this blue flag, and A2 has to get to this flag. But it's got to hit this token over here, I believe. So I want to get a straight road across, so spam a load of that. And then we're going to need some supports in the middle. So if I just drag it down to here and drag back up, that should provide plenty of support there. And we'll also need a trellis along the top. So something along these lines should be safe enough. And we'll copy these over the other side. We're going to need some support down here, so I'll do something like this. Hopefully we'll be able to hold. And then, as you can see here, we've got a boat that needs to come through. So if we join that away, so it opens and closes, and we'll need a hydraulic somewhere. I believe we'll put one hydraulic over this side, just to be safe. And we'll put one hydraulic over this side. This side won't have as much lifting ability, but it should be alright. Let's press play and see what happens. So the blue car goes across and the red camper van follows. Camper van gets a token, but it stops there, but the blue car's crossed perfectly fine. We're taking about 56% stress, 55. Boat comes through, and the bridge opened up perfectly fine. This side higher than that side, of course. And hopefully the red van will be able to go across without any problems. Yep, only about 66% stress in total there, so 67 then. We did get just over the 100,000th mark, but it is alright because we made it through. Let's go on to the next level. Here we've got a lovely limousine, and it's got to get to flag A over here. I'm not sure how we're supposed to do this. We've got a budget of 24,000. This is quite a long distance, so I'm just going to get the line tool and drag that over, fill it in. And then maybe we can just do a trellis across. I'm not sure if that's going to be strong enough. Hopefully it will be. But I don't think so. If I press play. Yeah, that immediately collapses. So if we just cancel this simulation. Can we just rest this bridge on the rock by chance? If I do that. Yeah, so you can balance it on the rock. If I speed up. Gets to the middle. And that actually worked, fair enough. And we were still under the budget. I was quite confused by this one, but we did make it across. You can look at other people's designs here. There's some people use some very nice looking bridges, but I think ours was pretty nice. Anyway, next one. Right, here we've got to get, in this one we've got to get ambulance across this bridge. I believe it's got to collect this star, and it's got to get to D. So we've got 4 hydraulics, so we've got 6 pieces of steel. But what happens if I just use wood? Now that is the correct question. Because steel is extremely expensive. But could it just be enough to... I've got auto triangulate on, so it makes all that. What if we just do a simple wood joint there? Another simply wood joint about there. I don't think that's symmetrical, but who cares? And then we've got to make a join in the middle here. We'll probably put a trellis in along the top here. Something like this. Looks pretty odd, but it works. And that's split there, so that should be alright. Then if I delete these 2 out here and I replace it with hydraulics, will it work? Well, firstly, it will take the weight of the ambulance. Well, It looks like it fits the boat underneath perfectly fine. And can it take the weight of the ambulance though? That's taking a lot of stress around the middle, but it gets to stir. And it's across. And I have to say, this bridge does look fairly beautiful. I mean, like, just a normal design of this. The symmetrical, and just, it looks a bit like a rope bridge, to be fair, if you just connect it in the middle. And that should be that completed. I'll quickly run through this again. 300 times speed, see the boat coming through. Across it goes. And we get the star. There you go. And now we can see other people's designs. There's a very nice swinging arc one here. I'm surprised that even worked. And there's other ones that are fairly similar to us. This time we actually came underneath the 100,000 mark and the 7,500,000 mark. Nope. Yes, that is correct. And we came 64,000, so that's pretty good. Right, this one we've got a motorcycle, and it's got to get to this side. I'm not sure what that is, so I'm going to click spacebar, and it looks like it's a kind of like raft shape thing. So I'll end the simulation. So we've got a very small amount of budget. So I don't think we can connect the road over there. So maybe we've got to build like a ramp. Like try and hold it in place. I'm not sure if we've got the strength and materials for this, but we can try. Maybe something like that will be able to hold it. Nope. Maybe we put an extra piece going up the top there, and it will collapse onto the other piece. Nope, it just disappeared straight through. It's slightly annoying. So I'm not sure how we're supposed to actually do this one. It's quite confusing. If I connect can the road connect to that? So the road can go through it. Maybe if we do something simple, just like a wooden trellis across, but there's no stability on the other side, so yeah, it just falls down. Maybe you've got to add an extra bit like on the rock one where you have to have it so it just falls in. No, it doesn't manage to grip onto that. Yeah, maybe we've got to have it grip onto this other side. Like something like that. Does that? Yeah, it kind of holds in place with the floor. So if we lower that down, it just goes through the floor. Is there a tutorial? Any hints? Level info. So red joints aren't available. Try bracing against something else. But I'm not sure. There's a cliff here. Collides with cars. And this doesn't do anything. So we press play. Yeah, there is a cliff under there. So cars collide with that. And if we go into tips, bracing or resting your bridge on the environment like vertical edge of a river can help give your bridge strength with red static joints are unavailable. Right, so we've got to probably... Oh, it says brace against land. I'm not sure whether this ledge here counts as land. In the tips, does it have... Oh no, they can connect perfectly fine anyway. So maybe we put something underneath here. Does that stop the bridge? Yeah, so that stops the bridge from sinking. So if we do something upwards now, and we put support underneath, can that hold in place with the bike on it? If the bike speeds up a bit maybe? There you go, it crawls over the top. And the bridge, of course, is not long enough. Haha. Now we're still under budget with this. I'm not sure if we want to go for a budget one or just complete the level. I personally just want to complete the level on this one because we seem to be struggling. So it's this bit here. I need to deselect that. And if we put extra support in there, maybe it can hold. There you go, over the side. And it made it to the ramp, but the bridge did break. I'm going to count that as a win. Some people made excellent ramps on the side here. You can watch them in motion. Yeah, theirs worked perfectly fine. We did terribly on this one, but we'll go on to the next level anyway, and we can come and complete this at the end. Right, this is number 15. Right, on this one, we've got we unlocked the hydraulic controller, allowing us to say when we need the hydraulics in place. So I'm not sure how that works, but we can figure it out on the way. So we've got to get E over to E, and C over to C, and A over to A. I'm not sure why it's not ABC, but it says ACE instead. I'm not sure. I believe it'll probably be red, blue, blue. So we probably get to get the red car up to there. Which will probably involve a lifting bridge. So we'll need one section to like extend. If I was to push it up, would that work? I'm not sure. If I was to stabilize this quickly, we put some joints in place. How tall? I think they'd be able to fit under there. So that would work. So I'm just going to rebuild the bridge here. And then we need some stronger joints in place. Auto triangulate. Then we're going to need some support down here, so it doesn't just break on us. Can that hold the car? Yeah, so that would be able to get under there. Now we just need it to be able to go upwards. So if we delete that, add a hydraulic in. So it's going to try and pull it upwards. So we need to disconnect all of these. That failed. I'm not sure why I just put another hydraulic in place there, but we did. And it looked terrible. So we got those joints in place. So according to this control, the red car goes, then it's a hydraulic, then it's a car, then it's a hydraulic. So this is all useless. Absolutely useless if we don't get the red car up first. So it'll be something like that. And we set that to detach. If we put something along here, and then, so this has got to go downwards. This will have to sink. So if I put some supports coming out from the bottom, that doesn't even hold its weight to start with. Probably because there is barely any support on it, but that wasn't our fault, was it? That should be able to hold the weight. So the car gets across. And then we see these cars need to get across. So we'll stop the simulation. We've got to find a way to be able to make this bridge go downwards. So if we replace this with hydraulic, and we make it, if it was to extend, and these were like able to dislocate themselves, so yeah, it just collapses because there isn't enough support on it. So we need to have ways, so when this contracts, we need like this to extend it. Not sure how this is going to work, but it'll do something. So that's along the lines of what we want, but if I reseal that, I don't think it's going to have the strength to hold. Maybe? No, it won't work. So we need some more strength along the top. I wonder if that will be able to hold it. If I do something like that, and then the bridge breaks. So this doesn't have the strength to be able to hold it in place. So if we do something like that, maybe it'll work. I'm not sure. We have a budget, but it breaks and then it all falls apart. So if we scrap this idea and we rebuild our original bridge design straight here, we'll keep that unbuilt, and then we could create like a cat flap type thing where like this will lift upwards, leaving us a road to go underneath. So if I was to do something like this, then we wouldn't have to worry about these supports breaking. And then we like put a trellis up here with supports underneath for both. And then we got rid of this one and we made it contract. Just pull it upwards. And we select this one to disconnect. See what happens. So the car goes across and everything breaks. It's a good start. So I was thinking that this would lift it upwards, but seeing how that will need support. So if I put, as we did in the earlier episode, if we do something like that, will this have enough like support from being with the terrain? Nope. So this has got to have, oh, I think it's because this keeps, I set this to break off. So I set that to keep in place. Nope. Still breaks. It's probably something to do with these supports according to the game. So we'll put this back in place. If we think about this, this should be safe. That should be safe. So that goes across. But everything still falls apart. I don't think it's got the strength there. So we get rid of this. And this. And we put the hydraulic. You can't reach there. So if we put something like, if we move this to there, then we get rid of this initial chassis on top. And we put something like that in place. I just realised we forgot to, that's jointed in. If I set that to, no, that needs to be contracted. We need to get rid of this piece. So we do something like that. Can it pull that part up? Kind of. So we need to set this to 1. So we need this to break off. So hopefully that will work this time. Is that? Try this. Where this lifts it up. Kind of like that. And now can the cars go underneath? This is the most broken design ever. Oh no, they get stuck. So we lift this up. Does that give it enough room this time? So the car drives across. Lifts up the little cat flap. And now there's a road bashing in the way. And it makes it underneath. They do their thing with the hydraulics. And then let's see if this car can make it underneath the cat flap as well. Perfect! Absolutely professional engineering. This is how all bridges should be built. I don't agree with this 255,000th place. This is clearly the best bridge ever built. And now this is the last one for the Pine Hills. We've got a bus here. A bus with a button on the side by the looks of it. And we got to get to A. We've got a large budget for it. And we've got some rope. Not sure where this rope would go on the map. But there is some rope there. I think we're just going to do the original straight line across from here. Now we fill this in place. But I've seen some people do some really cool things with like curves. So if I was to do... I don't want the curve here. Can I draw a curve over to here? Apparently not. So I want some support below. Maybe if we do steel supports below on either side, something like that. We'll lift it up 2 tiles. There you go. And then we just do some basic trellising across the middle. That's 1 too low. I'm going to delete all of that and just restart it. There you go. So let's see, that probably won't hold. So I'm going to put some extra precautions in place with a lovely metal kind of Golden Gate bridgey type thing in the middle. And it looks like it will hold the weight perfectly fine. We're getting a bit risky in the middle there, but it seemed to have worked. The mix of steel and some wood seemed to have worked. And we completed Pine Mountains. Well, if you did enjoy the series, guys, make sure you hit that like button, and we'll continue into the next set of episodes. So make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.